The rise and fall of the American middle class. What's next? The American middle class, once heralded as the cornerstone of the nation's economic prosperity, has experienced profound shifts in recent decades. The story of this class's rise to prominence and its subsequent decline is deeply intertwined with the changing landscape of the U.S. economy, globalization, technological advances, and evolving societal dynamics. In this video, we will explore the history of the American middle class, its challenges in the modern era, and the potential future of this critical demographic. The rise of the American middle class. The emergence of the American middle class can be traced back to the early 20th century. After World War II, the U.S. experienced a significant economic boom, spurred by industrial growth, the expansion of consumer goods, and rising wages. This period, often referred to as the Golden Age of the American economy, saw the proliferation of well-paying manufacturing jobs, widespread homeownership, and an unprecedented rise in living standards for many Americans. Government policies, such as the GI Bill, which provided veterans with access to education and housing, further fueled this expansion. Additionally, the post-war economic expansion allowed for increased investments in infrastructure, leading to job creation in various sectors. As a result, the middle class grew substantially, with more Americans enjoying economic security and social mobility than ever before. By the 1960s and 1970s, the notion of the American dream was synonymous with the success of the middle class. Homeownership, access to higher education, and a stable career seemed achievable for the average worker. Middle-class families were able to support a comfortable lifestyle with one income, which was often sufficient to cover the costs of a home, education, healthcare, and retirement savings. The fall of the American middle class. However, the trajectory of the American middle class began to shift dramatically in the 1980s. Several factors contributed to the erosion of the middle class, including deindustrialization, the decline of labor unions, rising inequality, and globalization. Deindustrialization and the decline of manufacturing jobs. As the global economy became more interconnected, many manufacturing jobs, which had once been the backbone of the middle class, were outsourced to countries with lower labor costs. This shift resulted in widespread job losses in industries such as textiles, steel, and automobiles. In many U.S. cities, factories that once employed thousands of workers closed their doors, leading to economic hardship for communities that depended on these industries. While the service sector grew, many of the new jobs that emerged were lower paying and lacked the benefits and job security that manufacturing jobs once offered. This shift left many middle-class workers without the stable employment they had relied on for decades. The decline of labor unions. At the same time, labor unions, which had played a critical role in securing workers' rights and raising wages, saw a dramatic decline in membership and influence. The weakening of unions left workers with less bargaining power and contributed to stagnating wages. Even as the cost of living continued to rise, the gap between the wealthy and the rest of the population began to widen, further eroding the economic security of the middle class. Rising inequality. Income inequality in the U.S. has been steadily increasing since the 1980s. The wealthiest Americans, particularly those in the top 1%, have seen their incomes and assets skyrocket, while wages for the middle and working classes have remained relatively stagnant. According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau, the income disparity between the top and bottom earners has reached historic levels, leading to a shrinking of the middle class. The concentration of wealth at the top has had ripple effects on society, with fewer opportunities for upward mobility. As a result, many families that were once considered middle class have found themselves slipping into poverty, while a small elite group continues to amass wealth. The impact of globalization and technology. Globalization has had mixed effects on the American middle class. On one hand, it has allowed businesses to expand into international markets, boosting profits and economic growth. On the other hand, it has led to the offshoring of many jobs, particularly in manufacturing, resulting in job losses and wage stagnation for many Americans. In addition, technological advancements, while creating new industries and opportunities, have also contributed to the displacement of workers. Automation and artificial intelligence have replaced many routine and manual jobs, especially in manufacturing and retail sectors, further reducing opportunities for middle-class employment. What's next for the American middle class? As the middle class continues to shrink, the future of this demographic remains uncertain. However, several factors may influence the next chapter in the story of the American middle class. The rise of the gig economy. One potential future for the American middle class is the continued growth of the gig economy. As traditional, full-time jobs become less secure, more people are turning to freelance, contract, and temporary work to make ends meet. While this offers greater flexibility, it also comes with challenges, such as a lack of job security, benefits, and predictable income. The gig economy could lead to a new form of middle class that is more fragmented and less stable than previous generations experienced. Rebuilding the middle class through education and skill development. One of the keys to revitalizing the middle class is addressing the growing skills gap in the labor market. With the rise of technology and automation, many workers lack the skills needed to thrive in the modern economy. Investing in education and retraining programs could provide workers with the tools they need to secure well-paying jobs in emerging industries such as tech, healthcare, and renewable energy. The focus on accessible education, including vocational training and community colleges, could help create a more resilient and adaptable workforce. Universal basic income and other policy solutions. Another potential avenue for ensuring a more secure future for the middle class is the adoption of progressive policies such as universal basic income, UBI, which involves providing all citizens with a regular unconditional cash payment, could provide a safety net for those displaced by automation and globalization. Other policy solutions, such as expanding access to healthcare, affordable housing, and childcare, could also help alleviate some of the financial burdens that middle-class families face. The rise and fall of the American middle class is a complex story shaped by a wide range of economic, social, and political factors. While the middle class has experienced significant challenges in recent decades, there are still opportunities for revitalization. By focusing on education, technological adaptation, and progressive policy solutions, it is possible to chart a new course for the American middle class. The future may look different from the past, but with the right investments and policies, the American dream can still be within reach for millions of people. Let me know in the comments section below. What do you think of our video? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.